Assalamu alaikum. This is your teacher FAKHRI Ali, and we are doing permutations and combinations. And when students hear the word permutation, they get chills, or combination. Permutation or NPR, this is the key present on the calculator, and NCR, just the key present next to it. NPR is equal to n factorial n minus r factorial, and combination is NCR, that is n factorial over n minus r factorial into r factorial. But believe me, knowing these formulas is not helpful enough, right? You have to know the counting techniques. We know that permutation is about arrangements or orders, right? Arrangements in particular order. Order is very important, whereas combination is about selections. And in selection, we don't consider any orders, right? We just need to select R objects out of N objects. But the best thing about this topic is that there are repetitive questions. The questions are repeated with different patterns. But if you know the concept, this is like very easy topic, right? Repetitive questions, for example, there are anagrams in it. Anagrams are arrangement of letters. A list of letters is given. You have to arrange different arrangements. You have to make different arrangements of it. Or you have to form numbers. Certain numbers are given, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or any other random numbers. Numbers are given. You have to choose those numbers, or particular numbers from it, or you have to make arrangements from it, right? For example, 1, 2, 3 is one list of numbers. You can permute it, or you can make arrangements out of it, like 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 3, 1, 2. There are certain arrangements, okay? And when I say make combination of it or choose certain numbers out of it, you can select 1 or 2 or 3, right? So I have just used these particular terms like arrangements and selection. So what else shall we do? We must know in first place, we must know the counting techniques. Once we know the counting technique, the topic of permutation and combination just become very easy as ABC we call it, right? Now, what is counting technique? Counting technique is not as counting on your fingers like 1, 2, 3, 4, but it is actually counting in efficient manner, in a required manner, in a given manner. Okay, that we'll see. But first we see that what two things must we know related to the counting techniques. One is the rule of addition. The other is rule of multiplication, right? Having said this, I explain it further. For example, rule of addition. Suppose there are one group of objects and there is another group of objects or tasks. So if there are, and we have to choose each one object or one task from the two groups. So what shall we do? Let's suppose if there are m ways to select from one group and n ways to select from the other group, there are m into n ways to select each object from the two groups. This is called the multiplication rule of counting. Now, I elaborate it further. For example, you have got 3 chocolates, Mars, Snickers, and Bounty. And you have got 2 pieces of chips, for example, Pringles is there or Nachos is there. And your mom, being very generous, allow you to choose 2 objects out of these given objects. So how many ways can you select these 2 yummy things? What are you going to do? So you can select a Mars and a Pringle, or a Snicker or a Pringle, or a Bounty or a Pringle. Or you can choose a Mars or a Nachos, Snicker or a packet of Nachos, or a Bounty or a packet of Nachos. Now this is very watering, but of course I have to give an example to you. So there are 3 chocolates and 2 pieces of chips. So how many ways can you select it? You can select like 3 into 2 ways, like 3 ways to select a chocolate and 2 ways to select a chips. So 3 into 2 gives you 6. Now this is a rule of multiplication. Now your mother thought that you should choose only one of the 5 objects present. So here what we do, that you've got 3 ways to choose one of the chocolates, or you can select either of the 2 packets of chips. So there are 3 ways plus 2 ways. So in all there are 5 ways. Believe me, once you are going to understand this counting technique and with rule of addition and multiplication, I assure you, you will find many questions very easy present in your textbooks or your exams. And I would welcome you to join Gethikma.com and have fun. Have a nice day.